This is Mastering Mathematics with your teacher, Karen Weston.
Hello Antigua Barbuda, welcome again to another in the series, Mastering Mathematics. It's not only just an ordinary second term, but it is a new year. And of course, we're going to wish everyone a prosperous, healthy and productive 2014. More so the students in our schools and especially our mathematics students, because by now we are well on our way and all we need to do is to learn techniques and concepts and knowledge associated with mastering mathematics. This is a program sponsored by the Ministry of Education using its EBU unit, ABS Television and Mathematics Center. We're going to make certain that education is a doorstep experience. More than that too, you're aware that the government has given school children what we're calling, first of all, our tablets. And for those of you who believe it's just a toy, no longer can you say this when I say to you that on this tablet, students can be anywhere and still be learning mathematics. Yes, we have created a Facebook page. So even on their Facebook page, their playground, you can come and you can get the series associated with mastering mathematics. We want students to be responsible for their own learning. Not only just, we're linking it to all the sites too that we already have. We have the YouTube, we have the websites, and the lecture series are also on this tablet. So students, no more excuse, no more saying that teacher did not come today, so you didn't do so and so, because you are now in total control of your lessons. All right, so everything is here for you. We're making certain that mathematics is not just something taught in a classroom, but with your device, not just for listening to music, you can get everything coming on here too. Any quiet space that you're going to be calling your place of study, you can get there. And teachers, these things are also on your laptops. You can use them. They can become a productive part of your lesson. And that is how we're saying we're integrating technology into our teaching and learning in the classrooms. Yes, the Ministry of Education endeavors to produce first-class education, and we are not going to be left behind. So, thank you to the government of Antigua Barbuda. Our students are in the technological era, and we are making certain that in the mathematics classroom, this is the case. After all that, we get again and we say, again, we have our flyers that we can show you, that you can see the things and see the signs. Teachers, these will be coming out to you in the schools so that you know exactly how you can complement your lessons using the information that we have on our website. And also you can come to the Ministry of Education and we can produce some DVDs for you that you can go and get your lessons. Technology is a part of the teaching strategies in Antigua Barbuda. We have to say thank you to Mr. Washington Bramble, the EBU production unit here, Mr. Lloyd, always ready. And of course, my good friend Aisha is right on the ball too. And in the back and behind the scenes, Mr. Barnes and all those people who work so very well. As a unit, we bring the best for you in terms of education. I know you're learning because yes, I still have hands and fingers, but the shaking of the hands and the faces and the smiles, that tells us that we're doing something very good in education. And we endeavor, with God's help, to produce for you the best production that we can in our education process. For mathematics, let me tell you something. Students, this is now your time, fifth form students. Crunch time is here. Second term, cannot afford to be looking over our shoulders or wasting time or thinking. We have got to get practicing. Let me tell you what happened 2 Fridays ago. I went on the 3rd of January to the examination room where the January mathematics exam was being held. Do you know that some of those students actually failed that mathematics examination even without touching a paper, even without writing one sum? Why am I saying this? For any mathematics examination, you have got to be mentally and psychologically ready and making certain that you are prepared for an examination. So please note that from time to time, I will be telling you and making certain, because Mr. Smith in the examination department wants to make certain that you get the message. He cannot break the rules for CXC. And teachers, please, please tell our students the sort of conditions that they have to go to make certain that they're prepared psychologically to sit an examination. Right. Again, as we remember, Sean, do you know I still have 2 persons and 2 families grieving now? Remember the late Miss Rosemary Wenner passed just 2 days after Christmas, and to that family, we want to say, please accept our condolences. She is my cousin. All my cousins are dying, it seems like, all right? But the Heavenly Father is with them. And of course, my colleague and friend, Mrs. Aldine Lewis, her family too would now be in mourning. But that is a good story, because she has shown that once we are prepared to take on the challenges of life, that life can be lived even longer than the physicians would tell us that we're supposed to. So that's a good story for me, but Miss Wenner's is a shock. All right? So to those grieving families, we say our condolences, and we continue to remember the students from Old Road. I had a stint with them during the Christmas vacation, and that was very good. So again, we are on our way. Green Bay, I'm coming down to see you immediately, so that I'm certain in my mind that we have no failing schools in Antigua Barbuda. So where are we going to take you this time? We're taking you now quickly into decimal numbers. Decimal numbers. And what is it that we are calling? What do we mean when we talk about decimal numbers? And the simple thing is just saying that decimal numbers are numbers which has a point. Why is there a point? Because we're going now right of the whole number part of the whole numbers and getting into fractional aspect. So before we reach the unit, we have fractional aspect of the numbers, and although the names sound alike, the THs tells us the difference between a whole number part of it and the fractional part. Okay? So all this, Miss Weston, what do you mean by not having a point? So if I gave you the number 3.4, this would be called a decimal number. And if I gave you again the number 2.09, that is a decimal number. All right? Now, all of this has to do with place values. All of this has to do with place values. We know, depending on how I'm facing the board, if we're going in where the arrow is pointing, then we'll be increasing each position by 10. If we're going in the opposite direction, we would be decreasing each position by 10, because we are based on a base 10 system. Now, where we are decreasing, that is where we're going to be getting our decimal points. So, you're accustomed, we ask you to give us our place values, and you'd be saying it is units, and it is tens, all right, and it is hundreds, and we're going as far as, let's say, thousands, okay, thousand, okay. Now, oh, I have to make certain. Listen to my voice more than looking at my handwriting, because I hear some people saying, oh, you have to write legibly. All right, so listen to my voice telling you. So units, in my day, we used to say, but now you're saying ones. That's the same position here, all right? Then you're saying tens, and then you're saying hundreds, okay? And we're stopping at thousands because we just want to make a point. Thousand, okay? It's in the base 10, so when we are in the ones, it would be, in terms of the index, is 10 to the 0, 10 to the 1, 10 squared, and 10 cubed, all right? This is where we're saying then, to my right, if I'm going right, once we have passed the ones position, this is where we put up our decimal point, and then we are going now, it would have been now tenth, th, all right? Tenth, and then it's still hundredth, and it is thousandth. With your th. All right, how do we represent this for formers? Then the tenth would have been going 10 to the negative 1, 10 to the negative 2, 10 to the negative 3. In our primary schools, they'd be saying the denominator here is 10. In here, it would be 100, and here it would be 1,000. Okay, so notice that whereas in our primary school we're saying 1 over 10, 1 over 100, 1 over 1,000, then in the fifth form position we're asking you now to get up to remember it's 10 to the negative 1, 10 to the negative 2, 10 to the negative 3, and that they are the same. So what are we learning at this point too? We are learning that when we have a negative index, what do? We invert and put it as 1 over the positive part of the index. So that is why this was 10 to the negative 1 becomes 1 over 10 to the positive 1. Here, this becomes 1 over 10 to the positive 2, and that means 10 times 10 would be giving us 100. And here, 1 over 10 to the positive 3, and that's 1 over 1, 2, 3. Because 10 cubed means 10 times 10 times 10, 10 times 10, all right? And this is just 10. So, in between that, you see we can learn all those things about our decimals, the positions, and what it all means. Teachers, what we actually see, note right away in a particular lesson, you can be talking about place values, negative indices, and what do we do when we have a negative index, and telling them right away what a decimal number is. So the decimal number then takes us into the smaller part of the number, which is not a whole number, and then we get all these names, tenth, hundredth, thousandth, okay? The positions. Look at what we had when we gave you that example. So I want you to see, first of all, what we have here in terms of our position. Then I'm just going to be sending you on a break, but before I do that, just to tell you, the place value here for the 3 is the first number. And so what would that be here? That would before the decimal point, and the 1 number here is our ones. Still does not change. First number after the decimal point, and it is tenth, th. All right, tenth. And we will show you that you don't confuse that position with this one. If I had a 2 in front of that 3, okay? A 2 in front of that 3, where that would be tens, T-E-N-S, And do not misplace this with that. So we have to examine these things and to see that we understand the difference in terms of tenths in relation to tens, hundredths in relation to hundred. All right? So that's the first aspect that I want to bring to you in terms of our decimal. It runs on from our place values. We're going to take a break right now and come back and let you see that adding, subtracting, and multiplication actually follows the same rules that we do for whole numbers, except that we have to remember how many decimal places we are dealing with. Go take your break and we'll be right back.
Whenever possible, draw a diagram. Even though you may be able to visualize the situation mentally, a hand-drawn diagram will allow you to label the picture, to add auxiliary lines, and to view the situation from different perspectives.
Right, so we're back. And what did I say? We can give you these numbers, and then what we're calling decimal numbers. And for mathematics, what do we have? 4 rules. What are they? Multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division. All right. Later, I'll tell you you can construct your own decimal numbers when we get to division. Okay. Now, so suppose I gave you these numbers, and the numbers were 16.2. When we say, look at how we are calling the numbers. 16. Oh, let's get the other one. So we're calling the numbers, and it is 16.24, and we are adding, and then, but I'm not doing it as yet, and we have the number 3.11. So we're going to write plus 3.11, and it is plus 0.43. Oh, okay, look at those numbers. And here, how I am calling the numbers. 16, the whole number, 16.24. Notice I'm not saying 16.24 because there's no such number. All right? So we don't say 16.24. That's not it, okay? So we're saying 16.24 plus 3 point, and what are we saying here? Yes, you're saying 0.11 and not 0.11. And then it is plus 0 point, and what is this number called? Right, not no 43. It is called 0.43. Let's get that again, because as mathematicians we have to be able to call the numbers correctly. And so what number is this? And it is 16, yes, point, and it is 24. All right? Anytime you hear anybody saying 0.24, correct them for me, please. And it is plus 3.11, not 3.11. No. And it is plus 0.43, not 0.43. No, there is no such thing. All right. Now, why am I stressing and just saying, writing them across like this, and not writing them and saying we are going to add them? Because there is a point that has to be made, and that is there is a format that we must use in terms of the decimal numbers. And what is that format? Simply that the points dictate how we place our numbers. So they must be lined up like this. So it would be 16.24. This one is also going to, so let's use this one and see. So it is 16.24, and it is plus, okay, so we're adding, and notice what we're doing. Place values become important here. The 3 under the ones position, then you have your point, and you put your 1, 1. And then the other number we have again, it is then 0.43. 3. So the manner, the format in which you write your numbers is important, all right? Is important. So when they say, oh, they give you that, that's easy, then you look around and you see people just write the things all over. No, place values are important. And then the addition is what we're accustomed to. So that would be 8. This is 7. The point comes here, 9 and 1. So the answer is 19.78. We will do one more because there's nothing in terms, but the point that had to be made is that formatting is important. Now, let us give you this one, and you're going to guide me as to how I'm going to write this. And it is 2.01 plus 3.011, and it is plus 0.001. Let us call those numbers again. It is 2.01 and it is plus 3.011 plus 0.001. What is the first thing we are going to do? We are going to make certain we are formatting and that our place values are the same for each of the rows of numbers that we will be writing. Okay, so we start and we're going to put down our 2.01, and then we have 3.011. The 3 is in the ones position, so it goes here, 3 point, and we go 0, 1, 1. And our last number is 0.001. And we are adding. So again, place values. So 1 and 1, that's just 2, that's 2, 0.5. Okay, so I am going to leave you with one of them and then ask you to make some for yourselves and just to see that you can do your addition. So suppose you're taking this and you're asked to add, and it was 0 point, and it is 341. Okay, 341, and it is plus 0 point, and it is 051, and it is plus 27.1. 27.1. Now I was using the CXC Mathematics for the 21st Century by Surendra S.P. Raghunandan. Oh, that's an Indian, has to be with that kind of name. All right, you hear what it was? Surendra S.P. Raghunandan. Okay, that is where the examples came from the CXC Mathematics for the 21st Century. So we're clear about the rule for addition. We're now going to be looking at our subtraction rule. And what do you think the rule entails? What is new that we haven't done before in terms of our subtraction? And you would say, oh, Miss Weston, if it follows for one, it follows for the other. That when we're doing our subtraction, again, the numbers in the same place value must be put on the each other. Right, so look at what we have here. Suppose we were given this number, 17.62. Oh, let's take this so that there's no confusion from off of the board. This was our addition. So we move in here, keeping our space very clear so that the grandchildren will not be confused and they're listening, and neither will their grandmothers. All right. So here we go now. So we are here saying the number that I want you to subtract, it is 17 17.62 and it is minus 5.71. Again, that number 17.62 minus 5.71. So we get it and we write it down, 17.62, and it's minus the ones, place values on the place values, 5 point, and it is 71. Okay, notice what we did. Place values on the place values. Okay, the same place values must be located on each other for subtraction. Everything else holds as far as whole numbers are concerned. And so we are saying 1 from 2, so 1, and again we would be saying 7 from 6, we can't, so we're going over. So you put in your decimal point, the point comes here, then we're borrowing as usual, and yes, the 10th position, so then this becomes our 16, and we're told just to say put a 1 in front, and we'll be getting 7 from 16 now will give us our 9. Yes, and we have borrowed a 1 here, so you're left here with 16. And we're saying 5 from 6 would be the 1, and we bring down our 1. And so that our answer is 11.9591. Okay, so that was our subtraction. We have one more to give you to make certain that you're getting it, because you're saying, I can do those things. I bought my pad and I have it waiting, and I was waiting for you all the time, Miss Weston. Give you a chance to see that again and say, don't erase it so quickly. So we put it in a cub like that and say you had that as your first example. The second example I want to give you is this one, which says that we're going to have 6.4, and it's minus 0.012. Aha! 6.4, and it is minus 0.012. What are we going to do here? So you write back your 6.4 and minus place value on the place value. Nothing is here, nothing is here. So what do you think would be in these places up here? Right, nothing. So there's zeros, all right? That is what you're putting up there. And then you're doing your subtraction. I'm going to leave you with that one to complete for me for homework. And you will tell me if you got it right, because I'm going to start right there the next time. Now, we exist in the Ministry of Education to make certain that we are preparing you for the 21st century. Even our textbooks are telling you this. We have all the gadgets. We have made certain that education goes out beyond the classroom. And thank you very much to the Ministry of Technology and Information, because you have made certain now that we can tell parents, no, it's not just joke. These people are using the tablets for, and it's not a waste of time or a waste of money. It's a good deal. And those of you who didn't put down your children's name, oh, for the goodness of God, please try, because it can help them, okay? And I have now given you all the things on here, the DVDs and everything, Mastering Mathematics, the ones you're missing, right here. So you can have fun in terms of learning these. So we will expect this year to make certain that by the time the examinations come around, and by the time that this year is ended, that we are more sensitized into saying, of course, Antiguans can do mathematics, but that is not a problem for us anymore. And so until tomorrow, from the Ministry of Education and right here from EBU unit, this is Karen Weston saying, do enjoy the rest of the evening. And children, please keep on practicing, practicing, practicing.
Join us next time for another in the series, Mastering Mathematics, a production of the Education Broadcasting Unit in the Ministry of Education and ABS TV.